Good afternoon. At least it is here in Central Texas. It's about 23 minutes after 12 noon, and I'm Robert Davis back with you. What I want to do today is walk and talk you through use of the status bar in an application. A lot of people don't make use of it, and it can come in handy, similar to the use of a panel control as a header on a form. So let's get started. I'm going to come over here to Delphi, and we'll get project one. And what I've created here is a simple little database application. I use, I'll show you. Let me open Unit 2. And you see I use the absolute database. And it's just a one table setup for contacts. Just a little lazy database for samples. But on the main form, we have all the labels and DB edit fields for the record, DB navigator, and then we have down here the status bar. And I'm going to use this to display information that's pertinent to the database. So, and then we have the data module here, has everything, and both units reference each other. So there's that. And so let's come back and run this and just see what it's doing. Keep an eye on the whole form. No errors. There we go. And we're live with our data. And I just have 4 simple records in here. But you notice down here on the use of the status bar, it says record number 1 of 4. And as you advance, it's dynamic. As you advance or navigate, it changes record 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. And no matter where you go, it updates that. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is a deeply involved tutorial. It's not. But this little status bar can serve you well in many, many cases that you don't actually use one. It can. You see, this tells us the record number of how many records we have. Many other things can go down here in the status bar. But let's look and see how we do this particular one. So I'll close this, and we'll go to the code. And actually, the status bar code is in the data module, but I'll show you what's going on here. When we form show, it opens the ABS table 1, which in turn opens the ABS database 1. And then on form close, it closes ABS database 1, which in turn closes ABS table 1. So let's look at unit 2, or the data module. And so where do we come up with this on how to update the status bar? Well, let's double click on this and see the code. I didn't mean to create that. Anyway, it's done. It's not going to do anything. So we have this procedure, the after scroll procedure. And every time the table is navigated, whether it's on an open or a next or previous or first or last, anytime it's navigated, it fires the after scroll event. So when we open it and when we navigate it. We get this after scroll event. And here's what happens. We start and say form 1 status bar 1 simple panel equals true. Now, if this is set to false, or the default of false, you wouldn't get anything in the status bar. But since it's set to true, the status bar gets the text right from here. SimpleText equals recno into string table 1 recno and concatenate the record count, and that updates it. So again, as we see, it updated it because we opened, and that fires a scroll event, and each navigation or scroll event afterwards updates that too. So you can have this simple text status bar, but there's another kind, and that's going to be my challenge for you for today, is to try this one out, the simple text status bar, but the challenge is to use the status bar in one of your applications to place different bits of information that's pertinent to the overall form on the status bar. And the hint is you do that with the panels property. So this just has a simple text panel, that's it. Doesn't have any more than one, and I would guess in the case of symbol panel equals false, it wouldn't have one at all. So take an application that you already have, or just make up a simple one. I like to use databases because that's the kind of guy I am. I cut my teeth on databases decades and decades and decades ago. So I find this useful for illustration purposes. So use an application you have, or make one up, and use the status bar to put up different bits of information separated by separators. And you can do that. Check out the status bar panels property, and that'll show you how to do that. So we have a dynamic little status bar down there. Just does something simple like that, and you can add more to it with the panels. But now with the panels set, you don't get simple text. So it's one or the other. So there you have that. I hope you have fun with the little challenge, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks. Robert Davis here again with you. Bye-bye.